welcome to the Nippon Budokan for Day 3 of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Nippon Budokan is the spiritual home of martial arts in Japan and the perfect venue for Paralympic Judo. Judo in Japanese means the gentle way and refers to the fable of a tree branch bending under the weight of snow but never breaking. Blind Judo was first introduced to the Paralympics in Seoul, Korea in 1988 and had been the only martial art on the Paralympic Games program until Rio in 2016. Women's blind judo was added to the program at the Athens 2004 Paralympic Games. Here's the lineup of the men's minus 60 kilogram category, followed by the women's minus 48 elimination round of 16.
Tatami 1ではまず男子 60kg 級の予選を行っていきます。And on tatami 2, we have men under 66 kilograms elimination round of 16. 一方、tatami 2では男子 66kg 級の予選を行っていきます。
Fujimoto Satoshi is Japan's most acclaimed visual impaired judoka. Fujimoto participated in 5 Paralympic Games and won 3 gold medals, 1 silver and 2 bronze in the minus 66 kilogram category and competed in minus 65 kilogram category in Atlanta in 1996. First bout of the men's minus 60 kilogram category between Japan's Hira Takaki, and he'll be up against Thiago Marques of Brazil. Takaki, he has a philosophy: effort never betrays you. To think about the importance of this wonderful building, the Nippon Budokan. It's in the shadow of the grounds of the Imperial Palace in the heart of Tokyo. So many wonderful Paralympic champions have been crowned in the Budokan over the years. And now on to the tatami, which is the name of the competition area. This is the mat that judo is played on. It's a 10-meter square. You see the yellow area, that is the area of play. We have the athletes getting ready to make their way to the tatami. And they have a blue gi, as you can see here, from Marques, and the other player, Harai, will be wearing white colors. That's so that it is easy to distinguish for the player who is going to be able to score their points. There are 3 ways in which you can score in judo. That is by either throwing or to get your opponent in an arm lock or to give a strangle for a submission. The scores will be awarded as either a wasari or an ippon. The objective for the judoka, as they are referred to, is to score ippon, the perfect score. See the referee for the bout, Arthur Fernando. We'll get the match underway in just a moment. Now each of the judoka, as they make their way to the center of the tatami with the referee, they will have to start the bout by making contact. It's slightly different to the rules of formal judo, but as we get the match underway, straight to the ground goes Harai, trying to get his opponent onto the back foot, so to speak, at the beginning of the bout. It's a 4-minute match, and that time has been reduced from Rio in 2016 when it was a 5-minute bout. The referee brings him back to the area. He'll call mate to stop the bout if there is no score to be given. Once more, Harai tries to get down to the mat to try and apply either a lock on one of those arms, perhaps a strangle. The referee just allows the match to unfold for a short time. And if there is no development, he will call mate and they will start again. As Marquez is trying to get Harai with his legs wrapped around the body. The referee's not convinced that it's going to develop into anything and gets them back onto their feet. Harai just tries that foot sweep, the ashi sweeping techniques. And you hear the referee calling jogai, where he will allow the match to continue until either both of them are off the tatami and unable to score. Once more he calls mate, and they'll bring them back to the center. So when the athletes are getting close to the edge of the area, the referee calls jogai to give them an indication that they are beginning to go off. And if the action starts on the tatami, then it can continue off the tatami for a short while, and it is still possible to score. As you can hear, the referee calling jogai just to let the athletes know where they are on the tatami. Once more, Harai tries to drop. You see Marquez there trying that hooking technique around the back of the leg. Also Tagari. The language for judo is Japanese. For those not familiar with the Japanese term, and I'll try to use a mix of English and Japanese to help understand this. Toimi Anagi trying to lift his opponent over onto his back, and to score an ippon, the athlete would have to be thrown onto their back with some force. Or for a huazari would be for the upper body of the side of the upper body to be on the tatami. Once more, you heard the gong, and that signifies that there is just 1 minute left of the bout. You see a score given now. And this is going to go to Harai Takaki with the ippon. And Shiro is the name for white in Japanese, and Shiro wins the bout. So Harai Takaki opens his challenge for gold here in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Here is an attempt of Uchimata. Unsuccessful. On to the second bout here on mat 1. Men's minus 60 kilogram category. This is between Henry Borges of Uruguay and Recep Siftsi of Turkey. You see significant difference in height between the two players. Siftsi straight on the offensive here. And his advice would be to continue working with determination and faith, and don't just practice from time to time. So he's absolutely the grafter. He's a silver medalist in the European Championships in 2019. Competed in the 2018 World Championships, but was not among the medalists. Henry Borges this time on top, trying to find a way, but no, not to be. Still to score. 3 minutes 23 seconds, still on the clock, plenty of time. Henry Borges plays guitar, apart from being a judoka. Studied chemistry at university. See here, Siftsi trying that Uchimata, trying to get the leg up, but couldn't get enough height, couldn't turn Borges. You see the red dot on the sleeve of Borges, that's to signify that he is a category B1, so he's completely blind. There are 3 categories within blind judo. Categories B1, B2 and B3. B1 is the highest level of impairment, where athletes have no vision at all. B2 and B3, where they have a little, and it can be that they can see light or shapes and shadows, but all are visually impaired and they all compete under the same set of rules. You see Siftsi has taken the lead with Wasari, and then it's been matched with Wasari also from Borges. So you see the signal here from the referee. This is for a video replay, and there is the referee commission who are positioned off the tatami, and they will have a look at the action to see if there was a score for Ippon. I think they're looking to see if it was Ippon rather than Wasari. They're satisfied that the score will remain as is. Kumikata is the phrase used for the fighters to get back into the grip. The gripping judo is really important, and sportsmanship shown there from Borges. But the grip is really important in judo. So they start off, they have to have a lapel grip, and they have to have holding the arm between the elbow and the shoulder. But once they get underway, they can change that grip. They must attempt their attacks with having 2 hands. They can very briefly change to 1, but it must be for an immediate attack. Talking of attack, Siftsi there trying to get the initiative once more. Now he's in the hold down. You see the clock ticking away, 4, 5, 6. If he can hold his opponent down for 20 seconds, he will be awarded with a victory of Ippon in 10 seconds in the case of para-judo. 20 seconds for fully sighted judoka. And there is the Ippon being awarded to Siftsi. So ao is the phrase used for blue, and shiro, the phrase used for white. See here, very convincing win at the end of that from Recep Siftsi, who progresses to the next round. So I see to see how he was managing to hold down his opponent to get that Ippon reward. Next bout up, men's minus 60 kilogram, continuing. See coming out first in blue, Ishak Old Kadir of Algeria. Old Kadir was a silver medalist in the World Championships in 2018. And from Venezuela, in white, Dennis Blanco Marcos. Blanco, as you can see, has the red dot on his right sleeve and is escorted to the beginning, to the starting point, as they make the bow to Joseki, which is the jury that are opposite. That's the referee commission. The referee brings them together, kumikata, to get a good hold, and you can see again significance in height difference, but the low central gravity in judo can often be a very powerful tool. They attempted Myanagi from Ishak for the year. It drops back to the sacrifice throw. See Blanco with the score, and you see the failing to hold on to the kumikata to get started from Old Kadir, so he receives a warning, a shido, and that's that yellow card as you see alongside the graphic on your screen. Could get a second shido, but a third would result in disqualification through Hansokomaki. There's a clever twist underneath there from Blanco. Didn't come off though. Still got 3 minutes on the clock, plenty of time. Ishak Older Kadir tries again, sacrifice throw to get himself on the scoreboard, doesn't come off. Blanco meets that, gets back onto his feet. So they get started again. Blanco with the lead of Wasari once more again. Ol Kadir attempts to do the sacrifice throw. And the coaches who are seated at the side of the tatami, they can give advice when the match is stopped, but they can't shout out during the competition. Ol Kadir just trying, attempted a Kosoto that Hajiyeva. We do have a lot of mate in para judo. Referee needs to bring them back to the center to get them started again. Coming into the last 2 minutes of the bout, and it's still Venezuela's Denis Blanco with the lead of Juan Wasari. Blanco receives the Shido now. His first yellow card warning. His philosophy is to keep going if you have any difficulty. He believes that with effort and discipline you can move on. And he's certainly determined to keep going. Has that narrow Wasari lead at the moment, but with just 1 minute 34 seconds on the clock, still plenty of time for Ol Kadir to get back on terms. Once more, Blanco tries to duck underneath, because the throw didn't come off. The most medals ever won in Paralympic Judo was from Antonio Tonorio of Brazil, Tonorio de Silva. He's competing again in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. So a chance to see him on another occasion. coming into the last minute of the bout. It's still Denise Blanco leading with the Wazari over Ishak Kadir, who's wearing the blue colours. Now, can Kadir do something here? Doesn't look as though that's the case. Blanco once more is on top. He'll try to turn him if he can.
Please.
There's 39 seconds remaining. Blanco feeling a little bit of the pressure here, I think. There's more. Blanco on top. Can he turn his man? Can he get hold of one of those arms or perhaps put on a strangle? Just 24 seconds still to go. He'll be conscious that these valuable seconds are ebbing away, and he does have the Wazari lead. Really important to get this first win under your belt. That's the only way that you can win a gold medal in these Paralympic Games. Must win the first bout. Seems the same strategy again from Kadir, and Blanco is matching that by getting on top. Now he looks in a much stronger position here with just 2 seconds on the clock. Time is going to be up. Didn't have time to get the submission, but he does get the win. So very successful first bout for Blanco.
Turn, please. Turn. Coach, come.
Referee just calling the coach over to take his athlete off the tatami. There we see the attempted uchimata. It was unsuccessful. Blanco getting on top, trying to put on that strangle.
Next contest, men under 60 kilogram category, elimination round 16.
Next bout, Biani of Georgia. Watch out for a strong start from the Georgian fighters. He'll be up against an equally strong nation, Mongolia, with Zadamorj Chotbatar. Biani wearing the blue colours. Started judo when he was 12 years old, after his father enrolled him in the local judo club. He was fifth in the European Championships in 2019. Competed in the World Championships in 2018. He got 7th place. Also took a 7th position in the minus 60 kilogram category in 2018 in Jakarta, Indonesia. The Mongolian style of judo can be deemed to be a bit unorthodox. They have a strong history of wrestling. The Bok system of wrestling. They have a jacket, but they don't have the arms on the jacket. Referee brings them back. Incredible win there with the Ippon. Sukhbaatar, and this is how he achieved it.
Under 52 kilogram category, elimination round of 16.
Waranagi.
Blue judogi representing Ukraine. Natalia Nikolaichi.
And a smile on her face says it all, doesn't it?
In white, judogi representing Thailand. Metini Gongchongpu.
Move on to the women's minus 48 kilogram category now. Now this is an athlete that everybody will know, Carmen Russig of Germany. She's up against Victoria Potapova, the Russian Paralympic Committee. And a slight difference in height, as you'll see. Carmen Brusig, one of the identical twins, her sister Ramona, is a fantastic Paralympic athlete as well. She's had 2 golds and 2 silvers. But Carmen took a gold medal in the Paralympic Games in London in 2012. She also had a silver in Rio in 2016, and she took a bronze in Beijing. Potapova is no newcomer to Paralympic judo either. She had a bronze on 3 occasions in the Paralympics. She took a bronze in the European Championships in 2019. The referee just calling Jogai, just to let the athletes know they're getting close to the edge of the competition area. Oh, clever. Try to turn her opponent over. That sideways move, that Yoko movement, pulling over to the side. Didn't quite come off though for Potapova. Still 3 minutes on the clock. No score. Everything pretty even at this part of the bank. Russi just testing with her feet, probing, trying to find the right set to make her attack. into the action. 2.5 minutes. Still no score. So trying to get low, trying to command the grip. Getting close to the outside, going for the belt, the obi. You see Potapova with the red dot on the arm. She's a B1 athlete, whereas Brusik is B2. Again, Brusik trying to use that additional height that she has, putting pressure on Potapova, trying to get it down to make her attack. 1 minute 47 seconds, still no score. And still fairly even. If it were to go to full time and there is no score, you see the signal the referee is giving now, this passivity, this non-combative warning. And he's given this to Victoria Potapova, the Shido, first of the yellow cards. Most of the initiative now coming from Carmen Brusik. Brusik still trying to find a way in. Little tap of the foot. This time Potapova drops back and mate called. Kumikata. Again, just anybody's just joined the program. The referee in para judo has to get the two athletes holding on the grip kumikata at the beginning. Once that's been established, then we call it hajime, and they can get into the bout proper. We enter the last 55 seconds. If there is no score, it remains 0-0 at the end of the bout, then it will go to golden score. And golden score would mean the athletes would continue to compete until there is a score given. And see, Brusik here has received her first Shido warning. Starting to hotten up, and that was close there on Potapova. The arm, she has to let go. Getting close to the last 30 seconds of the bout, still no score. Fairly well matched, although most of the initiative coming from Brusik. She's dominating on top. Potapova keeps attacking that front leg. She can. Brusik going over the top, trying to get her backhand across there. She'll go into the last 10 seconds. They're down to the mat. Brusik now got the arm. Can she get a submission, a tap out? Look for the arm as the clock goes, but because she had the lock on, the referee allowed them to continue for just a second or two. But it is finished 0-0, so it will go into a golden score situation. Now in golden score, the Shido, the warnings, carry over. But there is no time limit in golden score. The bout will continue until one of them achieves a Rosari or an Ippon, unless they amass warnings to result in a Sokomaki. That's the disqualification. Again, Potapova trying to stretch out that front leg. The athletes have been already 4 minutes on the tatami working continuously. The clock stops every time the referee holds the match up. Brusik again trying to command the grip on top, using her strength. Referee calling Jogai down to the area because the action starts inside the tatami. It can continue for a few seconds outside. There's a passivity warning for Brusig, a non-combat warning. So she's now on 2 Shido. Brusig has to be really careful now. She falls foul of the referee in warnings now. She could lose the bout on Sokomaki. Potapova now feeling a bit more confident in this. She tries to take her down. Mate calls. And both of the judoka starting to feel the pressure of the golden score and the time they've been on the tatami, on the mat. Not a great deal of room for risk taking. But again, Brusig teasing with that probing the front leg going in. This time, Potapova has now scored a Wazari. So she's in the initiative. And she's got the hold down. And there you go.
Next quarterfinal.
Golden score. And the reason the referee allowed it to continue, because it could become an Ippon. So although she scored the Wazari, that was sufficient for her to win the bout. But she had the hold down. She was trying to go for Ippon. But she takes the win. And it's Potapova who marches forward, and Brusig is in trouble.
Winner of the Tatami 1 in white judo representing RPC, Tatami Shosha Shiro, RPC, Victoria.
Back to the men's minus 60 kilogram category now.
Tatami 1, next contest. Men under 60 kilogram category, quarterfinal. Tatami 1, 男子60キログラム級準々決勝。In blue judo gi representing Japan.
And this is about now between Alex Baloga, who will be wearing the white colours, and he is up against Japan's Hirai Takaki. This is Takaki's Hirai's second bout, and the first one for Alex Baloga. The referee gets them underway. Baloga drops down, tries to get that Kamiyanagi, but he's looking to get hold of one of the arms or perhaps a strangle. The leg scissors on here, trying to turn his opponent over. The referee allowing the bout to continue. He's got the hold down. Baloga up to 6 seconds. But it was just about that 9-second point when Hirai managed to escape and avoid that ippon. And there was the groundwork continuing. Takes a tremendous amount of strength from both the athletes, working so hard. Underway, still not a great deal between them. Baloga again tries to sacrifice Temiwaza. Hirai with that powerful upper body work, trying to get himself free from the grip of Baloga. Baloga took a bronze medal in the Paralympics in Rio 2016. Here's a B1 category. It looks like he's got the arm, and there it is. That's the tap out. The power of Baloga has defeated the tenacity of Hirai Takaki. Baloga is looking for that all the way through that first part of the bout and managed to get hold of the arm. Ketsetsu Waza and lock that onto the straight arm of Hirai to get the ippon that he was looking for. Chance now to have a look at how he did it. that arm out straight. Into the men's minus 60 kilogram quarterfinal now. We have Shirinli of Azerbaijan. He's up against Siftsi of Turkey, coming out for his second bout. Shirinli was a bronze medalist in 2018 in the World Championships. Represented Azerbaijan in the fully sighted judo until 2018, and he won the minus 60 kilogram Grand Prix in Tashkent. Plenty of fireworks in this bout. Both the athletes trying to dominate, command. Referee brings them together. You see again the slight height advantage there from Shirinli. Shirinli wearing the white colours. Shiro, as the colour is referred to in Japanese. Siftsi on his back, but got the leg scissors on. That's a call. The referee brings them back to the centre area.
Atak sende. Bak bildiğin anda gidecek. Sadece güven. İnan kendine. Hadi oğlum. Eli bırakın. Açma. Sadece açma. Hadi oğlum.
Siftsi, the blue, he's class B2. And Shirinli B3. There's the score for Azerbaijan's Shirinli. He's got a Wasari. Some useful advice, hopefully, from the coach. For Shirinli. Referee brings them back with Kulikata, get them into the position to start with. But as soon as they get underway, they can change the grip. They must hold on, one on cross grip, one on lapel, one on the arm. See Shirinli trying to get a strangle on. If he can get the arm underneath and take hold of that lapel. Siftsi keeps his arms crossed there, protecting himself. Still plenty of time for Siftsi to get back in to contention. It's trailing by that Wazari. There's a Shido warning now. Can he get that strangle on again? And Siftsi tried to wriggle free, but it's pressure now from Shirinli on top. See, the Shido is being given against Siftsi for avoiding the grip. So Togari there, the hook round the back of the leg. With a clash between the two of them. Into the last 2 minutes. We're halfway through, and it is still Shirinli with that Wasari for the Syoe Nagi. There's a Shido now against Shirinli. That was for holding on with one hand. You can only do that on one occasion. That is the second warning now for Siftsi. Again for avoiding the grip. You can't full foul of that anymore. Almost came off there, didn't quite. Once more he defends himself, crossing the arms. Shirinli tried to find a way in, tried to get either onto an arm or onto the lapel. On minute 47, still Shirinli leading one Wasari to 0 and dominating every time as Siftsi drops down to the tatami, down to the mat. This time he does get an arm across on the top of that lapel. Can't quite get the other arm around though to put on the strangle. Shirinli tries that drop Syoe again, but didn't come off this time. Almost came off that time for Siftsi. He just managed to get around and avoid that. Into the last minute we go. And still Azerbaijan's Bulgar Shirinli, who leads with 1 point, the Wasari. Oh, very, very close that time. Almost came off again for him. Bulgar Shirinli. Oh, that drops Yonagi.
Bekle orada, sıkıştır bekle. Sıkıştır bekle. Recep, Komanagı'yı bırak. O çıkar, kolu çıkar, uçum atar, riske gir.
Hear the advice coming from the coaches.
36 saniye kaldı. Hadi.
Just 36 seconds remaining on the clock. Advantage is still with Bulgar Shirinli of Azerbaijan with that one Wasari lead. Almost came off there. There is Mate called again. Here the coach calling Uchimata, but the referee's not having that. You have to give sensible and quiet instruction. But this time it's the Ippon score. Second Wasari Awaseti Ippon, this time for Ukiwaza. So the win goes to Bulgar Shirinli of Azerbaijan.
Next contest, men under 66 kilogram category, quarterfinal. In blue judogi, representing RPC, Victor Rudenko. In white judogi,
Our next bout,
representing Georgia,
again in the men's minus 60 kilogram, this time between Sherazod Namazov of Uzbekistan and this man, Marcos Denis Blanco of Venezuela, coming up for his second bout.
in blue judogi, representing Venezuela, Marcos
Sherazod
Blanco.
Namazov,
In white judogi,
defending champion from Rio, where he took the gold medal. He was bronze medalist in the World Championships in 2018 and also in 2014. He's just making sure everything is in order before he gets the bout underway. Sherazod Namazov, Uzbekistan. He's wearing the white colours. Oh, it's a Wasari scored here. And it is Sherazod Namazov who takes the opening score with that Wasari. Referee for the bout, Nedim Bayat of Turkey, getting them ready, asking for a video review. And the coach for Namazov is Adam Jamalov. And they could be looking for the review to consider whether that score should have been an Ippon or not. Back underway. The drop there from Blanco. Try that dropping technique, see if he can unbalance Namazov. Not able to do so. The referee just getting some instruction. The referee and the judges have sound pieces in their ears so they can hear commands between each other. They can have instruction. You see here that the score has been reversed actually, so it is Blanco who has the Bazari. I think was the issue there. It was initially given to Namazov, but it's been reversed. So with 3 minutes still on the clock, we have Dennis Blanco who's leading, 1 Bazari to 0. Shehzad Namazov yet to score. Oh, very, very close there to Tomoyanagi, but Blanco was able to spin spectacularly in the air there and land on his feet. Once more, underway. The back of Blanco there, if you could get him into a grip. The referee wasn't satisfied that that was going to turn into anything, called a day. That's more straight off the mark there, Blanco on the attack. Very important in judo to get the set correct before the attack goes in. Make sure you're unbalancing your opponent if you can. That low center of gravity from Blanco is paying off there. Kumikata, where the athletes have to make that initial grip. Once they get going, they can change the grip. They can only grip with 2 hands. It's possible to do with 1, but only if there is an immediate attack. See Shehzad Namazov bouncing up and down there, trying to loosen himself up, getting ready to spring the trap if he can against Dennis Blanco of Venezuela, who is leading 1 Wasari to 0. This time it was Namazov who drops down to the tatami on his back. Telling them to get closer so they can get started. Distinct difference in style between the two. Shirzod Namazov standing fairly upright, trying to get ready for the attack, whereas Dennis Blanco much lower, utilising that low central of gravity that he has. He was successful with that Wasari score, with that Kouchigari. Kouchi, an attack to the outside of the leg. This time he drops down. And now can Namazov get onto that arm? Or is it in fact going to be Blanco? The referee allowing them to continue on the mat, as it doesn't develop into a solid attack, then bring them back. Some animated advice coming from the coach of Shirzod Namazov. Adam Jamalov, the national coach for Uzbekistan. Closing in on the last minute. Shirzod Namazov has put in a great deal more spirit into the closing stages of the bout. Still trailing 1 Wasari to 0. Referee calling Jogai, just letting the judoka know that they're getting close to the edge of the tatami, edge of the mat. She's looking for a place in the semi-final. Uchimata attempt there from Namazov didn't come off. It closes down, battens down the hatches, but it's Blanco trying to get on top. See if he can get hold of one of those arms. It's a puff out there of the cheeks from Shirzod Namazov, thinking, you can see this going in the wrong direction. He's trailing 1 Wasari to 0. He still only has 18 seconds left on the clock to do something about it. Blanco sensing the last few seconds of the bout. Can see himself progressing into the semi-final. Going to pick up a Shido though. He's got to compete. Can't have that defensive posture that he adopted. Could afford to have another Shido, and it looked like he's getting close to it. But that is it. Time is up. Shirzod Namazov loses out to Denis Blanco Marcos, who now progresses to the semi-final. There is a double repechage in para-judo. So Namazov may still have an opportunity to go for a bronze medal if he can win through the rounds. in the repechage, but his hopes for gold and for silver have gone. But this man is still looking positive. Denis Blanco marches on.
Next contest, men under 60 kilogram category, quarterfinal.
畳は男子60キログラム級準々決勝。
In blue judogi representing Mongolia, out Mongol, Sukhbaatar Borges. In white judogi representing Kazakhstan,
白カザクスタン。
Anwar Sariyev.
So our next men's minus 60 kilogram quarterfinal bout between Kazakhstan and Mongolia, both very powerful nations in judo. Wearing the blue colors, we have Yadamarji Sukhbaatar, and in white for Kazakhstan, Anwar Sariyev. There, Sukhbaatar trying to go for that Seoinagi. Sariyev just drops back. That sacrifice techniques, they come off, they're fantastic. Can lead you into trouble. But trouble is not something that would bother either of these judoka. Sariyev has practiced judo, sambo, kurash wrestling before he had his accident. And he began judo at the age of 12. Once more, Chotbatar goes, tries to drop underneath. Not a great deal between. Oh, there on the side there. A Wasari score for Sariyev. Cleverly done. This time is Sukhbaatar tries the drop, but it was the Ippon Seoinagi for that Wasari score from Sariyev. Because he dropped and landed on his side, he was given a Wasari. Had he have landed flat on his back with force, it would have been an Ippon, and it would all have been over at that point. There's still 2 minutes and 36 seconds in which Sukhbaatar may be able to get back in contention. Both of these judoka looking for a place in the semi-final. Of the men's minus 60 kilogram category, that he was telling them, getting close to the time. That might, in fact, that was the signal on mat 2. This is mat 1 here at the Nippon Budokan. going on mat 2 at the moment. It's the women's minus 52 kilogram category. That's a quarter-final bout between Canada and the Russian Paralympic Committee.
Winner in white, judogi representing Canada. Gagne goes to the semifinal.
勝ったガニエ選手は準決勝進出です。
Stepaniuk of RPC in the repechage.
敗れた RPC ステパニウク選手は
Three from Japan, Hirano Hirojuki. Gets them back in the center of the tatami now. Hajiyeva still trying to come around. This time Sukhbaatar drops down on his back. Hajiyeva trying to get his arm through, put on an arm bar or an arm lock.
Next contest on tatami 2. Women's under 52 kilogram category.
Judoka are B3 category. Line Judo Paralympics Tokyo 2020.
In white judogi representing Germany.
白ドイツ
1 minute 28 seconds still to go. And Chotbatar yet to score. Chooses to go over the top, got the arm on the lapel. Still tries to drop in underneath. And that's matched by Hajiyeva. Hajiyeva just moving off the tatami. The referee brings him back. There's a video review. It's a really good thing to have the ability for a review of the techniques. You can see there's the drop, and it goes over onto the side. Now with that video review, it gives a chance for the coaches to have an input. The referee commission, if they believe that the athletes deserve to have their techniques reviewed, then they can instruct the referee to stop the bout. But there was no score given. This time Hajiyeva flips over out of danger. The athletes have been very obliging with kumikata. That initial grip, referee hasn't had to intervene on many occasions with a Shido warning. See the switch of the grip from above the elbow to below the elbow from Sukhbaatar as soon as the referee called Hajime. Again, Hajiyeva drops down. There's 25 seconds to protect that Wasari lead that he has. In judo, everything can change in the blink of an eye. Hajiyeva just tries that drop. Sioe again. Didn't come off on this time. Into the last 14 seconds we go. Sukhbaatar gonna have to pull out all the stops now.
Winner on tatami 2 in white judogi representing Germany.
Is it all over? for the Mongolian fighter. Just 3 seconds on the clock. Gonna have to go for a big score. But Hajiyeva has managed himself out of danger in that last 25 or 30 seconds. Hung on to that Wasari lead to take a very creditable win with that Ippon Nagi for that Wasari score, where Sukhbaatar landed on his side, and that's enabled him now to progress into the semi-final. Anwar Sariev of Kazakhstan.
Sariev of Kazakhstan goes to the semi-final. Sukhbaatar, Mongolia in the repechage. Tatami 2, next contest, women under 52 kilogram category, quarter-final.
Tatami 2女子 52kg 級準々決勝
In blue judogi representing Ukraine,
青ウクライナ
Natalia Nicolaichi. In white judogi representing Algeria,
白アルジェリア
Shirin Abdelawi.
Moving back now to the women's minus 48 kilogram category.
Tatami 1, next contest, women under 48 kilogram category, quarter-final.
畳は女子 48kg 級準々決勝
In blue judogi representing People's Republic of China,
青中華人民共和国
Li Zi.
And we have the women's minus 48 kilogram quarter-final between France and China. And the very powerful Sandrine Martinet in the white is on top immediately. And she's got the hold down. And is it going to be Ippon? 3 seconds left. And she's on the score. Can she keep it going? Doesn't look as though Li Lingwing is going to be able to do anything about this, and a fantastic opening there for Sandrine Martinet with the Ippon score. Just such a powerful opening. She was the first French judoka to win 3 Paralympic medals. And here she is now, powering her way already into a semi-final position. Li Lingwing still in a bit of distress here. Of course, one of the things about the arts, the martial arts of judo, it is by definition the gentle art, gentle way, and there's no intention whatsoever to cause injury to one's opponent. But Li Lingwing, unfortunately, in some distress here. He was the defending Paralympic champion from 2016 in Rio de Janeiro. But she's being cared for by the medical team here in the Nippon Budokan. She's obviously in some distress. The attack there from Sandrine Martinet came so swiftly, and she immobilized her opponent here, Li Lingwing. And nobody wants to see an athlete in distress. That is not the objective of judo. The objective is to score ippon and to win. And we wish, of course, Li Lingying a speedy recovery as she leaves the tatami. It is Sandrine Martinet who will progress with that ippon through the Yoko Shihogatami. That's the side hold down. She had Li Lingying trapped for that 20 seconds in which she received an ippon. Next on to mat 1 is the women's, continuing with the women's minus 48 kilogram quarterfinals. This time it is between Yulia Ivanskaya of Ukraine, and she will be up against Lee Kai-lin of Chinese Taipei. You see here now the athlete has a yellow dot on the arms. That is to signify that they are in fact deaf. So the referee has to give signals in some occasions, because athletes can be blind and deaf, of course, in para judo, and they can use signals on the hands of the athletes to let them know if they've given a Shido warning and so on. We get the match underway. Referee calling Chogai just to let them both know that they are getting close to the edge. Lee Kai-lin, 29-year-old. She's wearing the white colours. She's a silver medalist in London in 2012. She was placed 5th in Rio de Janeiro in 2016. And off the tatami, she's very keen to be involved in creative writing. Some contrast between her activities on the tatami and the creativity off it. Can she be creative here and find a way in to Yulia Ivanskaya? She can't. The referee calls Mate. Ivanskaya was the bronze medalist in Rio. She was European champion in 2017. And she's on top now, taking the initiative. Referee for the match is from France, Oliver Desroses. Both of the fighters trying to pursue Niwaza groundwork. If they're on their feet and working, that's referred to as tachiwaza. There's the kumikata, the starting position for the para judoka. Fully sighted judoka don't make the grips at the beginning. They start away from each other, and then they can find the best way to make it good. There's a Ouchi attempt there from Ivanskaya. That's the hook beside the leg.
Да, перевертай, молодець. Ще, піде, помагай другою рукою. Другою рукою дави на спину. Да, йде, молодець, ще.
Kai Lim in white. Under pressure here from Yulia Ivanska. Still 2 minutes on the bout. On the clock to go. Still Ivanska with the more aggressive approach too, and she takes her opponent Lee Kai-Lin down for a Wasari score, and she continues with the Niwaza for a moment, see if she can progress that, make that into an Ippon, but she has the Wasari. Referee just reminding the coach to keep the noise down a little bit. The attack there from Lee Kai-Lin. And to hook the front leg of Ivanska. Once more, Ivanska on top. 1 minute 23 seconds still on the clock. There's a chance here for Lee Kai-Lim. Can she get hold of one of those arms of Ivanska? Fishing in there. Ivanska trying strongly to keep her arms in close and bring her back down to the mat. Referee calls mate. So Lee Kai-Lim is category B2, visual impairment. She does have that yellow dot to say that she's also deaf. Ivanska again on top. Lee trying to hold on to her. See if she can get in to a position now. Ivanska trying to get an opportunity to turn her opponent over. The same strategy from Lee Kai-Lim. Each time, Ivanska always dominating on top. Trying to turn her, using the belt Yobi. Can she get the strangle on? She had the arm around, but the top time is finished, and the win will go for Yulia Ivanska of Ukraine with that Wasari win for the Osoto Geashi. She now progresses to the semi-final.
Representing Chinese Taipei, Lee in the repechage.
Big hug from the coach.
Next contest.
Here's how she did it.
52 kilogram category, quarterfinals.
畳2女子52キログラム級準々決勝。
In blue judogi representing Japan.
青、日本、藤原優衣。
In white judogi representing Azerbaijan.
白、アゼルバイジャン。
Now we have Azerbaijan against Japan.
Tatami 1. Next contest, women under 48
Still with the
category, quarterfinal.
quarterfinals.
48キログラム級準々決勝。
In blue judogi representing
And Shahana Hajiyeva
日本、半内
will be wearing the white colours. She had a bye in the round of 16. And Shizuka, the athlete in blue for Japan. And that very tall Artur Fando from Belarus is the referee. Tall in comparison to these minus 48 kilogram athletes. Hajiyeva on top. She's trying to, maybe her first bout, but she's trying to make sure that she's going to take a win if she can. Trying to go for the strangle. Can she get it? Oh. She's pinning her opponent down here. The referee hasn't started the clock for the hold down. Trying to get for a submission. There, now he's satisfied. The doctor's called on to the area because the hold, the strangle that she had in position, Shahana Hajiyeva, looking for the tap out, but it didn't seem to come from Shizuka, from Hangei Shizuka. But the win goes to Shiro, white. That is Shahana Hajiyeva.
Hajiyeva of Azerbaijan goes to the semi-final.
So
アゼルバイジャンのハジエバ選手が準決勝進出です。
you can hear from the ring speaker that the semi-finals now the destination for Shahana Hajiyeva of Azerbaijan. Hangei Shizuka, fortunately, has succumbed to the injury from that encounter. So the semi-finals are starting to loom closer and closer. And that's going to be a very interesting contest as we see the likes of Sandrine Martinet, who's gone into those semi-finals, Shahana Hajiyeva of Azerbaijan, some powerful judoka to look forward to a little later. But in the meantime, we have to say goodbye, fortunately, to Hangei Shizuka from Japan, and to wish her well on a full and speedy recovery from that injury sustained in that quarterfinal encounter with Shahana Hajiyeva. So in just a few moments, our next quarterfinal bout on mat 1 will be between Turkey and Russian Paralympic Committee representative, and that will be Victoria Potapova, the first to come out for Turkey is SM Tassin.
Next contest, women under 48 kilogram category.
畳は女子 48kg 級準々決勝
In blue judogi, representing RPC.
青 RPC
Victoria Potapova. In white
See,
judogi, representing
SM
Turkey,
Tassin
Shiro.
had a bye in the round of 16. And Victoria Potapova, who defeated Rusik of Germany to earn her position here on the quarterfinal tatami. Referee for the bout from Japan, Hirano Hiroyuki. Quiet start to the opening 30 seconds of the bout. So once more, fairly well balanced. Tassin was a bronze medalist in 2016 in the Rio Paralympics. Referee calls mate. Brings both fighters back to the center of the area. And both are B1 athletes. As you can see the red dot on both their gis. Gi is the phrase used for the suit in judo. Particular design, very strong suits have to be from the pulling and tussling that they sustain during a bout. Tassin trying to get the initiative. She's trying to get in a position where she can pull out one of those arms of Potapova. Go for a Konsetsuwaza, an arm bar, or an arm lock. Potapova tries that drop down onto her back, and she could have got herself into a bit of a problem here. Tassin is on top now. Can she turn her over? Referee allowing this to run for a moment. Mate. Potapova managing to avoid that strangle from SM Tassin of Turkey. Tassin tries the Soto around the back, that hooking movement. See here, Potapova just fishing, see if she can get the arm of Tassin. Tassin going underneath the neck, trying to get hold of that lapel of Potapova. Neither successful. Referee brings them back to the center of the tatami. A lot of energy sustained when they're involved in groundwork in this way. Tassin once more drops down to the tatami. Beginning to feel a little. Seems to have sustained a little bit of an injury on her left leg. She's limping when she went back to the center. Referee just checking to make sure that she's okay. Safety of the athletes is always of paramount importance in judo. So Tassin seems to be in some kind of distress here. Referee just trying to find out if she's in a position to be able to continue. Still got 1 minute and 16 seconds on the clock. Referee's not entirely satisfied in the motive for stopping. And instead gives her a Shido for a false attack. So there's Tassin with a Shido against her, the yellow card alongside the graphic on the screen there. And it is Potapova who's on top. She's trying to get hold of that arm again. Slipped out of her arms, so she's trying to now put herself in a defensive position, and Tassin's gone underneath the neck. She's got hold of the lapel. Is she going to be able to turn this into a full attack? Referee's called Anate. We'll bring them both back to the area with just 38 seconds still to go. Once more, it is Tassin who's going to be penalised for a false attack. That's her second Shido. She can't afford any more of that, in which case she would lose with a Hansokamaki. As Tassin drops to the tatami, Potapova goes over the top, trying to get her arm under her neck or pull out one of those arms to put on a lock. If it's 0-0 at the end of the bout, for anyone who may have just joined the session, it would go to a golden score, and that would be the first one of them to score a point. Whether it be a Wazari or a Ippon would be the winner. There's been some changes in the rules, so the former Yuko is no longer there. There are only two levels of score, Wazari and Ippon. In days gone by, there would have been the Koka also. The International Judo Federation has endeavoured to make the rules for judo simpler to understand. So now there are only two Shido. The third would be Hansokamaki. And the scores, as I say, just Wasari or Ippon. We're into golden score now. There is no time limit in golden score. So this is where the stamina and fitness of the athletes start to really come into play. We see now the Shido has been given to Potapova, and that was for non-compactivity. Failing to engage in combat. And Tassin trying to pull her opponent down to the tatami. She wants to get into Niwaza. She senses that she might be able to get herself into a winning position. The referee's called Nate.
Fujiwara of Japan goes to the semifinal.
As we see here now, a third false attack given against Tassim, and as you can see, it's changed from yellow to red, which means she has now received Hansoku Maki, and the win goes to Victoria Potapova of the RPC team. She will now go into the semi-final.
Victoria Potapova. Potapova goes to the semi-final. Tassin of Turkey in the repechage. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have a short break for tatami disinfection.
これより畳の清掃・消毒を行います。
After the break, we will continue with the repechage contest.
So don't go away, please, because we have plenty of more judo to come. It's going to be just a short break while the tatamis are being cleaned and prepared for the next part of the program.
Wear a mask.
場内の皆様にお願い申し上げます。新型コロナウイルス感染拡大防止のため、マスクのご着用をお願いいたします。
And keep physical distance.
また、お近くの方々と適度な距離を取っていただくようお願いいたします。
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the repechage contest. それではこれより敗者復活戦を行います。 Tatami 2, men under 66 kilogram category, the repechage contest.
畳2男子66キログラム級敗者復活戦
In blue judogi,
So if you've just joined us, we are in day 3 of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games here in the Nippon Budokan in Tokyo for the para judo, flying judo. Down to the last 16. I've resulted now with the quarterfinalists and the semi-finalists. And here we have the male minus 60 kilogram repechage. And both of these athletes have already had competition and lost. But there is a double repechage situation we have in para judo, which means that they get another opportunity to go for bronze. Not a chance for gold or for silver. But if they can win through the repechage, they get a chance to go for a bronze medal against the loser of the semi-finals. And that's yet to come. So here we have for Algeria wearing the white colours. He's back literally on the tatami. That's Ishak Oldo Kadir, and he's being held down here, trying desperately to get either the strangle on for a submission. Watch for the tap out if he gets that. Can't get the strangle, and he can't get the submission. He would like to go for a hold down. Has he got the lock on? He has indeed. He has indeed. Sherazad Namazov has got the win. He's got the yip on. And Ishak Ol Kudir of Algeria couldn't see the tap out, and that would be the submission. And the referee, if the referee sees that, now the athlete, the judoka, can either tap the side of his opponent to say, no, I can't win, I'll give up, or to tap the tatami, the floor. As you see the win there with Ippon is Sherazad Namazov of Uzbekistan. He leaves the area. Ishak Oldo Kadir. His Paralympic Games are over.
winner of Tatami 2 in blue judogi representing Azerbaijan.
Tatami 2勝者青アゼルバイジャン
Namik Abbas.
So in the repechage, just to explain, those that have lost to semi-finalists get a chance to compete. This is a double repechage. They get a chance to compete for bronze. And if they can win through, and they can then beat all of the other fighters, they get a chance to go for bronze against the losers of the semi-finals, who automatically get a chance to go for bronze. Just a chance to have a look at some of the nations that have qualified for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. They have representation in each of the weight divisions. Now, there are 13 events in judo, Tokyo 2020, across 7 men's and 6 women's weight categories.
Tatami 2, next contest. Men under 66 kilograms.
30 medals at stake, including 12 gold. Here we have our next category coming up. This is the women's minus 48 kilogram category. And there's a chance now for Germany's Carmen Brusig to see if she can salvage something from her Paralympic Games. Got a chance now to compete against Tassin of Turkey.
Representing Turkey, in white judogi, representing Germany,
Just to remind anyone, or to let anyone know who haven't been watching the session so far, Carmen Brusig from Germany, she's wearing the white suit. She's an identical twin, and her sister Ramona will also be competing as a Paralympian. Brusig was a gold medalist in 2012 in the Paralympic Games, and she's also a silver medalist in Rio. And the best she can hope for this time round is a bronze if she can overcome Tassin of Turkey, who was a bronze medalist in 2016. Brusig tries to turn her over. She's been able to do so. Tassin trying to go for the lock. Referee calls mate. Neither were able to develop the attack. So this time it's Brusig. She got the arm of Tassin.
Carmen, Aufzug! Du darfst auf das Ding nicht drauflaufen! Aufzug! Was ist? Aufschütteln und weiter geht's! Komm, Bewegung, du brauchst Bewegung!
Still plenty of time, 3 minutes, no score yet in this repechage. But it is Carmen Brusig receiving the Shido for non-combativity. That's the yellow warning you see on the side of the German flag there. Three from France, Oliver Desrosses gives the Shido to Tassin. This was for a false attack. Brusig tries the Hajiyeva, the sweeping techniques. I know there's no crowd, so to speak, because of the COVID pandemic. Doesn't mean to say that there's a lack of enthusiasm from the athletes and coaches and officials around the Nippon Budokan, all who are either supporting Brusik in white for Germany or Tassin of Turkey. And Tassin drops to the mat. Brusik trying to get an advantage. Just touching her mouth here. She might have a little injury. Just showing the referee. She leads SM Tassin back to the area. Kumikata. Kumikata is the request to have both of them take up a grip at the beginning, just before he gets them underway with Hajime. Command to start the bout. You hear Jogai being called. That means the fighters are getting close to the edge of the mat. The yellow square is the mat. And we see Brusik is on top here. She's got a hold down. If she can hold her down for 10 seconds, she's going to take the win here. She's going on for 20 seconds now. And the referee calls Taketa and Mate. She receives the wasari because she kept her opponent down for more than 10 seconds, but not for 20. If it was 20, she would have had the ippon. So as you see now, the score of wasari. That's gone to Carmen Brusik. The referee just giving the fighters a chance to put their gis back into position, their suits. Straight away, Brusik tries that attack to the leg. Often that's the test, to try to unbalance the opponent. Once more, Tassin on the tatami, and Brusik trying to find a way in, either to take hold of an arm or put on a strangle. We have the wasari lead from the Kazuri Kesikatami. That was produced by Carmen Brusik. Katami is the hold down. The Kazuri Kesi is the technique that she used to hold her down. We come into the last minute of the bout. It's called from the crowd there, blue wasari. Well, I don't think that's going to influence the referee to make his judgment. But there is a call for a video. And that's the rectangle shape that he puts in the air there. So the video is being scrutinized by the referee commission. And they may decide that it's a score or not, and we'll find out in just a moment. And it isn't, and back into the action. This time Tassin tries to go over the top in the back of Brusik. As we go into the last 35 seconds, the referee calls Mate, stops them once more. He leads Tassin back to the area and invokes a second Shido against Carmen Brusik. So both now on the same level with 2 Shido each. Neither can have another because that would lead to Hansokomaki. So they will both try to avoid any of that in the last 25 seconds. Brusik takes Tassin back down to the tatami. She can waste a bit of time. She's got that initiative. She has the wasari. She'll be conscious of that time. Just 13 seconds still on the clock. The referee leads Tassin because she is a class B1. She's totally blind. You see that red dot on the sleeve. That signifies the fact that she is completely unable to see. As they get back in, last 10 seconds still to go, and it is Brusik who still has the wasari. And there's another wasari that levels the score. That was a cracking time there. Brilliant from Tassin to level that score in the closing few seconds. So that was a fantastic kataguruma that brought her level. Tassin, with just 4 seconds left now. Brusik was trying to hold on to that lead. That's time up. So now it levels the score 1-1, and both with the same level of Shido, 2 each. It goes into golden score. Golden score is the first to score will win the bout, or if one of them gets another Shido, it would lead to Hansokomaki and they would lose the bout. No time limit in golden score. Referee not satisfied, and a potential score can come from that encounter, so brings them back to the centre. The cheers you can hear are from Mat 2, which is a semi-final bout between Spain and Georgia.
Winner of Tatami 2 in white, judogi representing Spain. Tatami 2, 勝者、白、スペイン、Sergio Ibanez.
As you can hear, Sergio Ibanez has gone through to the final. From Spain.
Representing Georgia.
But on this mat, we're into the golden score, 26 seconds. This is mat 1. Everything is even. Wasari each, 2 Shido each. We have Carmen Brusik for Germany wearing the white gi. SM Tassin of Turkey. But Tassin has to be careful here that she doesn't get accused of non-combativity. Brusik looking over in the direction of the referee.
Tatami 2, women under 52 kilograms category, semi-final.
42 seconds on the clock, and as the time erodes, the tiresome athletes will become more jaded. They've already been competing for nearly 5 minutes now. Brusig just a little frustrated. She didn't want to stop, she wanted to keep going. Once more she takes Tassin down. Tassin trying to get on top, she's trying to get the strangle. And she manages, Tassin got the submission. And Brusig had to tap out. She's got some pain on the arm. But it was SM Tassin who was able to take advantage of that opportunity against Carmen Brusig. Kensetsu Waza, the arm lock, gives her the win with a Nippon scoring golden score. So SM Tassin has taken that result in the repechage women's minus 48 kilogram. And that was for the Urei Ishii Juji Katami for the Ippon. She got the win by Ippon. This is how she did it. Got the leg over the neck. Was able to put that pressure on.
Winner of Tatami 2. In white, judogi representing Canada. Tatami 2, Shosha, Shiro, Canada. Priscilla Garnier. Garnier of Canada goes to the final.
So the quarter-final win there you see. This time in the men's. Minus 60. This is Alex Baloga. Got a bye in the round of 16.
In blue judogi representing Azerbaijan. Shirinli. In white, judogi representing
So in white we have Alex Baloga of Romania. He's up against Vugar Shirinli. This is the men's minus 60 kilogram semi-final. So the winner of this goes in for either gold or silver. The loser is guaranteed an opportunity to fight for bronze against the winner of the repechage. In classic style now, as we've seen from Alex Baloga down to the tatami. He wants to bring his man down in the kind of Brazilian style. They like to fight. And Niwaza, groundwork, excellent in that. Referee calling Jogai, allowing them to continue. It's Baloga again trying to pull Shirinli down.
E foarte bine, nu lăsa să urce stânga sus pe ceapă. Aia e cheia. O să încerci el i-a prins la primul. Asta e, foarte bine. Bine, te tragi în spate.
Once more, Baloga spins down. Shirinli steps across him, gets out of danger.
Foarte bine. Astfel prinde-l și o ia la prim. Bine, acolo.
Once more back into the action. 3 minutes, 10 seconds still on the clock. No score from either of them. We have Baloga for Romania wearing the white colours. Shirinli for Azerbaijan in blue. Referee for the bout, Arthur Fando of Belarus. Artur Fanlo. This for a place in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Judo final, men's minus 60 kilogram category. This time Shirinli taking the initiative. It's over the top. Baloga holds in those arms. He doesn't want to give any opportunity for Shirinli to take hold of one of those limbs. Referee calls it mate. Shirinli is B3 classification and Baloga B1. So the referee escorts him back to the area so they can reorientate himself. Baloga aware of the attacks from Shirinli. Closes down, battens down the hatches, so to speak. Baloga goes onto the tatami. And just in the position there, the athlete is on their knees and their hands, if all four limbs, if they're still on their upper body is way off the tatami, and the knees, they can still be scoring as in tachi waza and standing waza. No score, no shidos. Once more, that flying attack there from Alex Baloga. Didn't come off though. Shirinli was up to that challenge. About halfway through the bout. Still everything to play for, all even.
Tatami 2, next contest, men under 66 kilogram category. Final of repechage.
Tatami 2、男子66キログラム級敗者復活戦です。
If you're just joining us and you're wondering, is this wrestling or judo? Well, I can assure you it is judo. And there are wrestling techniques that are used in there, but there are 4 ways to score in para-judo. You could score wasari if they were to land on their side. You could score ippon if they were to land on their back with force. You can hold down for 20 seconds, you could score an ippon. 10 seconds, you could get wasari through arm locks or strangles. Hold down the osakomi. The arm locks can setsu waza, or the strangles the sutemi waza. Basically the 4 ways to score. Neither of these athletes are getting any scores just yet. Plenty of work from both of them though, plenty of groundwork, the niwaza. Alex Baloga in the white gi, he's first to his feet. ends up 0-0, goes to golden score, and they'll keep going until one of them gets the initiative.
E foarte bine, foarte bine. Tu iei a doua priză, da. Tot așa. Alex, nu mai comenta.
There's the attack there, the drop, the leg across to see if he could get the throw in from Shirinli. Baloga happy to work from the floor. He's trying to get that arm in. Shirinli knows exactly what's going on though, manages to escape. Shirinli has just the one Shido against him for non-competitivity. Shido being the first of the warnings. That's that yellow card you can see alongside the scoreboard on the graphic. The referee wasn't satisfied that this was going to amount to a score, so calls a mate. The coach can give advice when the match is stopped, providing that's done in a calm fashion. Referee satisfied that that was okay, no problem. Back into the action. And then we have, again, Baloga happy to go down to the tatami, trying to get one of those arms free to put on a lock. But because Shirinli took him completely off the tatami, the referee calls mate, stops the attack and gets them back on to kumikata, hold on, just finding their way, and then they'll get back into the action once more. 40 seconds still to go.
Alex, nu mai lăsa să urce priza aia, că numai de acolo te poate ataca. E singura chestie, depărtează-l de tine, e foarte bine. Mișcă un pic brațul drept ăla, când ți urcă, deschide.
Nothing between these two. Both capable of scores in 26 seconds. If that isn't the case, it will go to the extra time, the golden score, which will continue until there is a result. Baloga trying to get his arm under there. If he can get hold of the lapel of Shirinli, can he get the strangle on? This is Temiwaza. Put his arm across there. His left arm is onto it, but Shirinli managed to keep his chin in. Out of danger, so it's 0-0 at the end of full time here. We'll go into golden score. Remember now, in golden score, it's the first person to get either a wasari or a nippon, the match will be over. This is the men's minus 60 kilogram category semi-final between Romania and Azerbaijan. The winner gets to go for gold or silver. The loser gets a chance to fight for a bronze. Everything to fight for. 14 seconds into golden score. Only difference between the two is just the Shido that is against Vulgar Shirinli of Azerbaijan. Fast attack again, dropping down once more to the tatami, Alex Beloga. Beloga taking the bronze medal in the 2016 Paralympic Games in Rio.
Winner on tatami 2 in blue judogi representing Japan. Tatami 2 勝者青日本瀬戸裕次郎。Seto Yujiro of Japan qualifies for the bronze medal.
Shirinli obviously feeling the length of time he's been on the tatami now, 4.5 minutes. And it's been a battle all along because Alex Beloga hasn't stopped making those attacks through the trying to get down. Beloga made an attempt there for a throw, but immediately it was countered by Shirinli. And both of the judoka here happy to take their time to get back into action. They use these little breaks for a breather. As you can see, it seems to be taking its toll on Vulgar Shirinli more so than Alex Beloga. A grip up, ready to go again. Can one of them find a weakness in the opponent? Can they find a throw, submission through arm lock, or can they hold them down with the katami?
Haide că-i totul aproape în genunchi în fața ta. Haide, Alex, haide că se poate. Adună-ți ultimele forțe, adună-le!
See the referee calling kumikata, instruction for both to grip up. Shirinli this time goes down to the tatami, trying to get the arm on. Has he got it? Beloga not having any of that. Referee brings him once more back to the center of the area. This time, Shirinli's managed to turn him over. So Beloga is trailing now, and he has lost the bout because it is golden score. Vulgar Shirinli will take the win. It is a wasari for the Ippon-Shionagi, and it was a wasari because Beloga landed on his side, not on his back. And Vulgar Shirinli, who found himself much of the time on the defensive, it was the attacks from Alex Beloga who was looking to be the stronger of the two. But Vulgar Shirinli came good at the end. and progresses now for a chance to become the Paralympic gold medalist in the men's at minus 60 kilogram. He'll be going for gold a little later. Yeah, our next bout. This is between Venezuela and Kazakhstan, and here we have Anur Shariev.
Representing Kazakhstan, Anwar Sariev.
Sariev is up against this man.
Blanco.
This is his third bout. Marcos Blanco. Referee Iona Babovic of Romania. Place in the final, men's minus 60 kilogram.
Vamos, el cionague, pero alando, hay que alar hacia adelante y el hipón, ala hacia adelante el hipón. El hipón, pero alando, hay que alar y lanza ese hipón, vamos.
Quiet start to the bout in the first 30 seconds or so.
Blanco, vamos. Señalarlo, alalo diagonal para poder hacer el hipón. Álalo, ajá, lo ala fuerte para el funcionar, ya. Sí, sí, eso es, pero hay que alar más hacia adelante. Está bien, vamos.
Didn't quite come off there. Referee brings them back to the centre. So much at stake in a semi-final. Desperation to get into the finals can take its toll on the risks that the fighters are prepared to put in. Neither wanting to go behind. And there we go, over. There it is. That's the one. What a fantastic technique there from Sariev. Delighted with that. He gets the ippon score. Brilliant technique. Marcos Blanco. He's not gonna, it's not his day, but it was a wonderful ippon sionaki from Sariev. Two minutes, 46 seconds. He still had to go on the clock as well. But it's been reduced from an ippon to a wasari. So that means to say that the bout will continue and Marcos Blanco will may get a chance to perhaps see why that was, because it has to land flat on the back with force for it to be ippon. If he lands on the side, then it could be just a wasari. And the referee commission, who are seated alongside the tatami, the mat, they instructed the referee to reduce the score from an ippon to a wasari. But it was a brilliant technique from the fighter from Kazakhstan. But he have to continue now. He's still got 2 minutes on the clock. Marcos Blanco, so close to going out. Oh, and that was almost a Tominagi. And Blanco flipped round, managed to land on his feet. Kept himself out of danger. Sukhbaatar grip up. Still that Wasari difference. Marcos Blanco turning up the pressure, but over the top he takes this time. And Sariev managed to turn him over, gets another score. This time he gets the ippon. So he gets another Wasari, the two Wasari added together, that makes Wasari Awaseti ippon. So the two Wasari scores adding up to ippon. That puts him into the men's final. Anwar Sariev of Kazakhstan goes into the final. Marcos Blanco fights for bronze with the winner of the repechage. There he is. The combined scores of Wasari for Hikikomi Gaeshi and for Ippon Sionaki. That was the outcome. There he is, turning him over. Can be referred to as a drop Sioinagi. The knees were down on the floor, but still trying to push forward to take him over. Now to the women's minus 48 kilogram category. This is between France's Sandrine Martinet, had a bye in the first round of 16. They've got a win over Li of People's Republic of China. She's up against Yulia Ivanska. Referee Nadim Bayet from Turkey, just trying to get the kumikata on the way. Place in the finals at stake between these two fighters. Sandrine Martinet with that spectacular win with the submission. Referee giving the warning against Ivanska. She has the Shido. And that's for avoiding the grip. That's that pushing movement that the referee shows in the signal. Close player. Martinet trying to get her down, but Ivanska managed to get round, but she's got to try desperately now to get a lock on if she can. Martinet forcing her way out of danger. Ivanska hold on to that arm, and Martinet showing the referee that she tried to get her chin down to protect her neck there. Ivanska trying to put as much pressure as she could on to try and get the strangle on. Still no score. There is that Shido against Ivanska. I know. Are we going to get a score here? Martinet on top. Trying to hold her down. The clock is starting to tick away. Can Martinet pin down Ivanska? 8 seconds, 9, 10. There's the Wazari. Can she continue for 20 seconds? Get the hip on. The bout would be over. Doesn't look as though Yulia Ivanska is going to be able to escape. No, she isn't. And the win and a place in the final goes to Sandrine Martinet of France. And she managed to turn that Wasari into an ippon for the Yoko Shihogatami, that hold down. Great win for Sandrine Martinet. She was frustrated because of the delay from the Paralympics. She felt it was a bit of a catastrophe for her. Obviously, she's now 38 years of age. That extra year meant that she had to spend time away from her family. But I don't think she'll be complaining too much now, because she's got gold in her sights. You have the other women's minus 48 kilogram semi-final, this time between Azerbaijan and the RPC team. Victoria Potapova is how she got through, got a bye, and she beat Japan's Hatsaki in the quarterfinals. Referee Hirano Hiroyuki of Japan. Referee calls for Kumikata. Get them back under. Have to have one arm on the lapel, the other on the arm underneath. But here we have an ippon score And it goes to Azerbaijan's Jahana Hajiyeva. She's going to be delighted now because that's going to put her in gold medal contention. Completely took Victoria Potapova by surprise that with that Sode Surakomigoshi, the arm lift and the throw. Fantastic result there for the Azerbaijan fighter, Jahana Hajiyeva. She progresses into the final. It's going to be big hugs and smiles now. Can she turn that into gold?
Tatami 1, next contest, men under 60 kilogram category, final of repechage.
Tatami 1、男子60キログラム級。
Now back to the men's minus 60 kilogram category. So there is a kind of a flip-flop between the men's and the females and the women's categories. So this now is the men's minus 60 repechage. This is between Japan's Harai Takagi, who'll be wearing the white gi, and Recep Siftsi of Turkey.
Hadi oğlum sert başla, sert başla. Sert başla oğlum.
And at stake is an opportunity to go for bronze.
Dizin üstüne gel. Dizin üstüne kalk. Dizin üstüne kalk girerse. Aferin. Verme sakın.
Harai on top, trying to find an opportunity. Can he turn him over? Can he get one of those arms free? Can he put a lock on? Referee allowing the bout to continue as long as there's an opportunity for one to score. Referee called mate just as Siftsi was attempting that throw. So once the referee's called mate, that ends the opportunity for any scores.
In white, judo representing Ukraine, Ukraine, Natalia Nikolaichi.
Sert oğlum sert.
In case you've just joined us, we are in the spiritual home of martial arts in Japan, the Nippon Budokan in Tokyo.
Aferin oğlum bak. Domeni yap, domeni yap.
This is the male minus 60 kilogram repechage.
Sert sert sert. Sarsadını.
Harai Takagi of Japan in the white gear on top, trying to do the hold down, trying to pin his opponent Recep Siftsi. He started off, then he called Taketa
Bacağına sarıl.
because Siftsi managed to escape, so the clock was stopped after 1 second just. Meanwhile, the groundwork still continues.
Hey. Bak Namazov da çok uğraşıyor. Recep ayakta atacağız oğlum. Hadi toparla. Boşalma. Hadi aslanım. Hadi Recep. Hadi oğlum. Hadi oğlum. Toparla hadi. Hadi aslanım. Hadi Recep derin nefes derin nefes. Hadi oğlum. Hadi aslanım. Sert başla sert. Hadi oğlum. Hadi aslanım hadi.
Just both of them looking for a bit of a breather. Get themselves back in the action.
Devam. Devam.
Siftsi tries that Uranagi, the throw to the back. And I was having nothing to do with that. 2 minutes, 12 seconds still on the clock.
Hadi. Hadi oğlum. Çok iyi gidiyorsun. Hadi oğlum. Hadi. Hadi Recep kalk oğlum. İnan kendine. Hadi inan kendine. Hadi oğlum. Alacaksın onu hadi. Hadi oğlum. Hadi iste maçı iste. Hadi hadi hadi. Hadi oğlum. Hadi derin nefes hadi. Hadi oğlum. Hadi bas. Hadi oğlum.
More referees. You find
Yapma.
tend to be more stops and starts in para judo. As the referee has to bring them back in. You saw there a warning for not holding on in the kumikata. That was Shido against Siftsi.
Tutunca bırakma eline. Aynı yerden tut. Değiştirme tutuşu. Tutuşu değiştirme.
Siftsi tries the uchimata, a hook up between the legs. Couldn't get Hirai to succumb to that though. Hirai now trying to get the initiative, trying to turn his man over to hold him down. Tremendous amount of effort being put in by Hirai.
Sakın boşalma. Evet. Boşalma. Sarıl belini oğlum.
Now it's Siftsi who sits on top. Quickly turned over again by Hirai. Now Hirai, can he get the hold down? Siftsi manages to avoid turn him over. So it really is a case of one side then the other. The amount of energy. Now there's the hold down and the clock is counting. Siftsi, can he keep him in? 5 seconds, halfway through for a Wazari score. If he goes beyond 10 seconds, it will go on for potential ippon. Hirai desperately trying to get out. We're into the last 15 seconds. Now 5 seconds left of this. Doesn't look as though Hirai is going to be able to escape, and he can't. And the ippon and the win goes to Recep Siftsi of Turkey, who's exhausted by the attempt to keep his man down. Wow, what a fantastic result for him. Both of them exhausted by that encounter. Most of the time spent down on the tatami in Niwaza. But it is Recep Siftsi of Turkey who takes the win with that ippon. Yokoshiro Katani. Brilliant. Well done. There's the final of the repechage. You see Siftsi, he goes through to fight for bronze. Not quite there yet. One more to go for Recep Siftsi of Turkey.
Tatami 1, next contest, men under 60 kilogram category, final of repechage.
Tatami 1、男子60キログラム級、敗者復活戦。
In blue judogi representing Mongolia,
青、モンゴル。
Sukhbaatar Iganando. In white,
So here we have the
Uzbekistan.
final of the men's, the other final of the men's minus 60 kilogram repechage between Uzbekistan and Mongolia. Sherazad Namazov, wearing the white colours for Uzbekistan, and he's up against Sukhbaatar of Mongolia. So this bout for a chance to go for bronze in the men's minus 60 kilogram. Referee calls Jogai. That's the command to say to the fighters that they're getting close to the edge of the area. Oh, wow. That was very, very close there. And he nearly turned him onto his back, but he landed on his side, so it's a Wazari score. And this has gone to Shehzad Namazov. Went for the Kasoto. And he finished with a Dayashi Harai. Took his legs from under him, landed him on his side. This time again it is Namazov on top. Still plenty of time, 3 minutes 10 seconds for Sukhbaatar to get back into contention. Again, you hear the warning, Jogai. That was almost came off there for Sukhbaatar. Namazov just managed to wriggle free, get himself out of the way of that throw. Oh, again, very spectacular attempt there from Shehzad Namazov. But Sukhbaatar managed to spin in the air and land on his feet and avoid getting scored upon. He turned. Namazov almost landing on his back, managed to twist his body round and avoid being scored upon. It's just the one Wazari between the two of them. Namazov still with that lead. As we go into 2 minutes 26 seconds still on the clock. Referee not quite happy with the kumikata at the moment. Once they have to grip properly, they have to be upright, they can't bend down until they get started in the match, and then they can change the grips if they wish. Oh, there's a good waza there from Namazov, didn't quite come off. Sukhbaatar managed to escape it. The referee showing a good degree of tolerance. Give the fighters the opportunity to get the grip on properly without being penalised. Sukhbaatar trails with that one score against him, putting in a great deal more attacking in this closing. There's the Ashiwaza again. That's the Ashiwaza that Namazov managed to pull off. Brilliant again from the Uzbekistan fighter. Shehzad Namazov gets the additional wasari, the combination making wasari awaseti upon. He takes the win. Just the referee just looking over to see that there isn't any challenge to the decision. He does have communication with the seniors, the referee commission. There's the Ashiwaza. There was the sweep and he dropped him down onto his side. That's why he was delighted with that. And it was on his side, it wasn't on his back, so it was a wasari for the Hisakuruma. Hiza being the knee, it's an attack to the knee. And dropped him down onto his side, so the win of that repechage contest goes to Shehzad Namazov of Uzbekistan.
Next contest is on tatami 1, women under 48 kilogram category, final of repechage.
続いては畳1女子48キログラム級敗者復活戦。
In blue judogi representing Chinese Taipei,
青チャイニーズ台北。
Li Kailin. In white judogi representing People's Republic of China,
白中華人民共和国。
Li Li.
So we have the final of the women's minus 48 kilogram repechage. The winner of this gets a chance to go for bronze. Onto the tatami is Li Kailin of Chinese Taipei. She's up against Li Linking. But because Li Linking did not come onto the tatami, she gets a win. So Li Kailin gets a win by default. Li Linking of the People's Republic of China was injured, so she wasn't able to take to the tatami for this particular bout. So the win goes through for Li Kailin of Chinese Taipei. Now getting ready for the other of the finals in the repechage. And it's a double repechage situation. And this is between SM Tassin
Final of repechage.
女子48キログラム級敗者復活戦。
In blue judogi representing Turkey,
青トルコ。
Tassin.
So it's coming onto the tatami is Hangei Shizuka of Japan in white, and she's up against SM Tassin of Turkey. This for the final position to go for bronze in the women's minus 48 kilogram repechage. Referee for the bout, Olivier Desroses of France. score immediately for Wasari, for SM Tassin. Hajiyeva just trying to tease and test, probe before she makes the attack, and Tassin drops immediately down. Now can she get her arm free? Trying to work on that left arm of Tassin. Referee not satisfied that the score is going to develop. Of course, Mate brings them back. And unless you are familiar, if you haven't been watching, you've only just joined us, there's a red dot on the side of the gi, you can see on the arm of both. So these athletes are both B1 classification, which means they are completely blind. The referee then can help them, guide them back to the starting position, and the kumikata, the grip that they have to adopt before they get back into the action. Once more, Hajiyeva just tapping with those attacks just to test the reaction from Tassin. Tassin seems to be feeling pressure a little here. That pressure coming from Hajiyeva, Shizuka of Japan. Hajiyeva being given a Shido for non-combativity. Putting in some work, but she didn't put in enough to satisfy the referee. Can Hajiyeva develop this? Can she turn her over? Can she put on a strangle? She's got her arm across the neck now, and she got hold of the lapel. Can she prise that arm free to put on a lock? Tassin holding both arms in really tightly, not allowing fighter from Japan to get access to that arm. Tassin was struggling a little bit with her left leg in an earlier round. Still 1 minute 38 seconds on the clock, and there's only one score between them. That's the Wasari for the Kataguruma of SM Tassin of Turkey in the blue colours. Hangai trying again to get that arm free, but Tassin's having none of it. If we bring them back to the center again, just over 1 minute left. This is the women's minus 48 kilogram repechage final. The winner of this bout can go for bronze. There's a passivity warning against Hangai. Shizuka of Japan, she's now on 2 Shido, 2 yellow cards. You see that on the top left of the screen. The next one would turn up to red and she would lose by Hansokomaki. So she has to be careful. She's still got a whole minute left of the bout to go.
Maçın devasa yap. 55 saniye iyi kapan.
55 seconds still on the clock. Just that one score between the two. The Wasari held by SM Tassin.
Ecem çekerek yapacaksın. Boş yok. 45 saniye. Kolu iyi çekeceksin. Kapat. Dirsek aşağı basın. Evet. Üstü aldırma. Durdur maçı. Durdur maçı. Üstü aldırma.
Hangai just coming up to the last 30 seconds. Can she turn her over? Can she get the lock on? She can. She's taken a Yuko score, a Wasari score. All right, no Yukos in judo anymore. A Wasari score. And she's got the hold down, so she's changed this round completely in this last 30 seconds. 9, 10, that gives her the ippon. Wow, what a turnaround from Hangai Shizuka. My word, in the last 20 seconds, she was staring defeat in the eyes. She's turned that round now to go for a bronze medal in the women's minus 48 kilogram category. Brilliant performance by Hangai Shizuka. And there you see again, SM Tassin, she's really struggling with that left leg of hers. It did take its toll on the Turkish fighter in the end. But the win goes to Japan's Hangai Shizuka, who will now be fighting for a bronze medal in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last contest today in the eliminations.
So that was the last of the contest in the women's minus 48 kilogram category.
We remind you that final block today starts at 4 p.m.
And as you can hear from the ring announcer, the next program starts a little later, so make sure you join us again for that.
Also, we remind you that today at 3:15 we will have kata demonstration.
それに先立って15時15分、3時15分から柔道の形の演技を行います。
Well, we come to the end of the session, and some fantastic judo we have seen along the way. There's plenty more judo still to come in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Make sure that you join us and stay tuned throughout the Paralympic judo sessions. Fantastic athletes still to come, plenty of gold medals, plenty of silver medals, and bronze medals still up for grabs. See you later.